Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to look at the CPTOYS and Nice Toys 1/12 scale 1989 The Clown. This is a 1/12 scale, third-party, unauthorized, unlicensed Jack Nicholson Joker from the 1989 Batman film. Since no official licensed company can make Jack Nicholson figures because his likeness rights cost so much, we'll settle for this third-party one, which is probably going to be fantastic. Hope it's not super small. We'll find out in a minute. I ordered this from Toys Metaverse, so let's take a look at the packaging. As you can see at the top there, it says Crazy Puppet. We have the sort of silhouette of Jack Nicholson with a hat on. CP2401 at the top. Crazy Puppet and Nice Toys. 1/12 scale collectible figure. There's absolutely nothing to identify this as the Joker or DC Comics or Warner Brothers or Batman. That's because they could face legal repercussions if they did that. Forget the fact that it looks exactly like Jack Nicholson. Simply calling it the Clown, I guess, is enough to let him get away with it. So with no further ado, let's open it up and check him out. Alright, now that we have this figure out of the package, here he is with all the accessories laid out, and he comes with quite a bit of cool stuff. We have 4 alternate hands, totaling 6 interchangeable hands, 2 different purple suit jackets. We have replacement buttons for the jacket, a cane, a couple bundles of money, a revolver with a really long barrel, another revolver with a bang flag, a hat, a flower for his jacket, a couple of detonators or radios, a megaphone, some chattering teeth, and a gas mask. Before we take a look at all that, let's talk about and check out this figure. So this is the Joker from the 1989 Batman film, played by Jack Nicholson himself. His likeness rights are very expensive, so you really only see him in Hot Toys type figures, although Beast Kingdom did make a version of the Jack Nicholson Joker, so there is hope. I didn't get that one because it's a little bit too large for my tastes. I collect 6 and 7 inch stuff. That guy's an 8 inch version, and this one is a 6 inch version. I would love a 7 inch version by McFarlane Toys, but I think that's fairly unlikely at this point. So for now, this one will do. So let's take a closer look. Starting with his face here, I think the likeness is fantastic. It looks just like Jack Nicholson in that Joker. He's got the prosthetic sort of smile going on there, the red lips, the white face, the green slick back hair. All the sort of wrinkles in his brow. It looks amazing. As we go further down, the purple jacket. He's got a sort of teal bow tie, teal vest, orange shirt, teal handkerchief, those plaid pants, purple gloves. It all looks on point. Looks like double jointed knees. They go pretty far back. His elbows also seem to be double jointed, although the jacket makes it a little bit rough. Now I don't like the fact that they cast his arm in flesh-colored plastic. It definitely should be in white plastic, and the same goes for his legs or ankles. Not a big deal. You're not going to see those parts very much, but if you do see them, it's just going to sort of take you out. And a closer look at his face and head sculpt, which is just on point. I mean, the only complaint I would say is the head and neck is one piece, so it's going to move at the base of the neck, and you have no chance of head swapping this with another figure. But that isn't what I got him for. I got him because there is no 6 or 7 inch Jack Nicholson Joker out there. This will be the first. And then here's the figure, broken down as far as he can go, with all of his removable parts detached. Now let's check out his accessories, and let's start off with his hands. He has a total of 6 hands, 2 left hands, and 4 right hands. Here he is with his first pair of hands. These are a pair of default hands. They would look good relaxed at his sides. And then here, with his second set of hands, his right hand looks like a gripping hand to the trigger finger, and his left hand is very similar to the first hand, but it looks like it's sort of semi-open. Maybe could grip something in sort of a cupping type way, something larger. And he still has 2 additional right hands. Here he is with his pointing hand, pointing a finger, and his final right hand. This is a gripping hand with a really small grip, probably for his cane. Now let's look at his 2 different suit jackets. They're both purple. So as you can see, the first one, black on the inside. It's got the little teal handkerchief, which I imagine you could swap to the other one. And this one here is sort of flattened out and straight at the bottom. That is the main difference between the two. This one, pretty much the same thing. And yes, it does look like it has a pocket right here. This one has a sort of curled tailcoat that's separated. I don't really remember him having two different purple jackets, but they look close enough that I probably wouldn't have even noticed. Here he is with his first jacket on. This one has a flattened out bottom. This one it came with in the package. And then here he is with the alternate jacket. This one has a sort of tailcoat. Now they prefer the other one as it closes up a little more nicely. The figure looks a little better as a whole with it on. We also have this baggie with a few different buttons. Now these are replacement buttons for a suit jacket. I guess if you sort of knock one off or lose it, you could glue one of these and put it on there, but I would challenge you to be able to glue something this small to this jacket without making a big mess and getting glue everywhere. If I knock a button off, I probably won't even bother trying to fix it, as that will be very, very difficult. Now let's look at his hat. It looks to be a purple fedora, made of a velvety type material, and has this black hat band wrapped around it. Here's the Joker with his hat on, looking just goddamn amazing. Now let's look at his guns. He has two pistols. It looks like they're both revolvers. This one here is from when he fought the Batwing. It has that super exaggerated barrel. Next, we have the smaller version, and it comes with a removable bang flag. Very appropriate for Joker. The bang flag is made of sort of a cloth type material. Here's the Joker holding onto that long pistol with that really exaggerated barrel. And then holding the regular pistol with the bang flag, which you can have the pistol with or without. Once again, as he holds the arm up, you can see the flesh skin exposed behind his glove. And that was a poor decision on the company's part. Should have been cast in white plastic. Then we have his flower. This will go on his suit jacket in the film. He used this to spray acid toward Vicky Vale, and his little clip would go onto his pocket. And then here's his Joker with the flower attached. This one has the handkerchief in the pocket, so you can attach a flower to the sort of top of the suit jacket like so. Then we have his cane. Not a typical Joker cane, it's just sort of a regular cane. Very thin and black at the bottom, and it goes to the top. It's got a little bit of gold. Here's this Joker holding onto his cane. Now we have these two stacks of money. It can be very useful for the action figure world. As you can see, it actually has a printed bill on there. Looks like a $100 bill. And believe it or not, these are individual single dollar bills. They're wrapped around with this little sort of paper clip in the middle. And you can take them out and have a whole bunch of dollars, but then you'll probably lose them and never be able to get them back like this. So I'm going to keep mine into these two stacks. And like I said, very useful for the action figure world. Here's the Joker holding those two bundles of money. Now for his megaphone. He used this when he had the parade or party in the streets, throwing money at all the citizens, and eventually trying to kill them all with Joker toxin. It's an orange megaphone, pretty basic, but it gets the job done. Here's the Joker holding and getting ready to talk through that megaphone. And now we have this sort of remote control device or detonator and a gas mask. He used these in the parade. This was the detonator or control he used to activate the Joker toxin coming out of the big balloons. And we also have this gas mask here, which he put on when the gas is activated, and it looks very similar to the one he gave Vicky Vale in the restaurant. Now, of course, the Joker in the comics wouldn't need that. He's immune to poisons, but this is not the comic Joker. This is the '89 movie Joker. Here's the Joker holding onto that detonator. And then we have the gas mask here, which fits over his face just fine, but doesn't really stay there. There's no way to really attach it. Next we have this radio. The color scheme matches everything else. It's got the little antenna. He uses it at the end when he's climbing up the church, asking the helicopter to evacuate him and Vicky Vale. Here's the Joker holding onto that radio, and I will comment that some of the accessories are really hard for him to hold, like the guns and this radio and the sort of detonator thing. And for his last accessory, we have a set of chattering teeth. At the end of the film on the church, Batman punched him in the face, and he dropped these chattering teeth out as if his teeth got knocked out. A bit ridiculous, but very Jokerish. And here's the Joker holding onto those teeth. Now that I've taken a pretty good look at the figure and his accessories, let's check out his height. And this was what I was concerned about. Is he too short? Is he about what I'd like? What I'd like from a figure like this would be about 6.5 inches tall. And this Joker is definitely on the shorter side of things. From bottom to the top of his head, standing about 6.1, maybe 6.2 inches tall, which can translate to about 15.5 centimeters. And for his articulation, and I decided to leave the jacket on because I imagine 99% of people are going to have the jacket on this figure, and so the articulation is more important with it on, and it does hinder the arms quite a bit. So starting with his head, can rotate side to side. He can look up about that far, down about that much. Can't really look up too much. Can tilt his head at least a little bit from side to side. Shoulders, ball joint goes out about 90 degrees. They can go up about this far before the jacket starts restricting it, but the sleeve gets rolled up, exposing his flesh color. He does have butterfly joints going forward and back. Bicep cut below that. Double jointed elbows, they go all the way in. His wrist can rotate and it's hinged. In his torso, he's got a joint right around here. Rotate around, forward and back the littlest bit. Another one is waist. Rotate around, forward and back. Much bigger range of motion there. Between the two, pretty good, but you're getting most of it out of the waist. Legs, they only go about this far because the pants obstruct it. If you were to go to one side, it doesn't really seem to go much further. There is rotation here. They can go forward about that far, back not at all. Double jointed knees, and then his ankle. Forward and back, rotate, tilt, rock, and there you have it. Here's a look at Joker in front of his Joker base. Arms outstretched to the sides. And here he is, leaning on his cane, holding that long, exaggerated pistol. Now let's check him out. Next to some other action figures, starting off with some other Batman 1989 figures. Here's this third-party Nicholson Joker, next to Mattel Toy-Biz Throwback Joker. This is the closest thing to a Nicholson Joker we've gotten in the 6 or 7 inch scale. Now to check him out with some 89 Keaton Batman figures. Here he is with the SH Figure Arts version, which seems a little bit short next to him, even though I know Michael Keaton is shorter than Jack Nicholson. Here he is, next to Mattel's Toy-Biz Throwback 89 Keaton Batman. Mattel didn't actually make a legit Keaton Batman in the 6 inch scale, and that's disappointing. They made one in their 4 inch line. Then, next to Mezco's 112 Collective 89 Keaton Batman. Scale-wise, this is probably the best fit with its Joker. And now, with NECA's version of the Keaton Batman. And next, with McFarlane's version of Keaton Batman. Now check him out with a couple other 89 movie characters. Here he is with the Mattel and McFarlane versions of the Michael Gough Alfred. Here's this Joker next to a Jack-specific wrestling figure that I used as a fill-in for Vicky Vale. Similar color, outfit, and hair, even though she's considerably uglier than Kim Basinger. And finally, next to a custom Bob the Goon. This is a 7 inch scale custom, so it's not going to fit along with this Joker, but it's a really cool figure to have. Huge shout out to my boy OG Trilogy from Instagram for making this for me. It is much appreciated. Now let's check him out with some other third-party unlicensed Joker figures. Here he is with the Patriot Studios, Joaquin Phoenix, Arthur Fleck, and Joker figures. And here he is with the Felix Toys, Joaquin Phoenix, and Heath Ledger Joker figures. And now with the SSR Endgame Joker. Next with the Joyman Toys, Dark Knight Returns Joker. And here with the Caillou model, Jared Leto, Zack Snyder's Justice League Joker. And finally, with an Extreme Toys Arkham Asylum Joker. Here's a look at a bunch of 6 inch scale live-action Joker figures. We have the Cesar Romero Joker, Jack Nicholson Joker, Heath Ledger Joker, Jared Leto Joker, and Joaquin Phoenix Joker. The only one they haven't made is the Barry Keoghan Joker from The Batman. Whenever I get a 1/12 scale third-party figure, I always wonder how does it stack up with Mezco stuff. This guy is a slightly smaller scale than Mezco, but I'd say the quality is damn near just as good. I feel like maybe the base body is not quite as good, but it's pretty damn close. But the soft goods, the sculpt on the face, the accessories are fantastic. Now let's check him out next to some action figures from different various companies, so we can see how he fits in both scale and style-wise. in case you want to know which lines you can mix him with. Since he's a third-party 1/12 scale figure, he's 6-inch scale, I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of these smaller action figure lines I collect, and work way larger. And I'm going to include as many Joker figures as I can during these comparisons. Here he is, next to some Jazzwares Fortnite figures, and some SH Figure Arts action figures. And now, with some Hasbro Marvel Legends and Mafex Joker figures. Here's the Joker, next to a large purple balloon. And here he is, with some Mattel and Mezco Joker figures. Then, with both some Jazzwares and Mattel wrestling figures. And now, with some NECA and DC Direct figures. Next, with some Diamond Select Toys and Jack specific wrestling figures. And finally, with some McFarlane DC Multiverse Joker figures. So overall, this is a fantastic Joker figure. The likeness to Jack Nicholson is fantastic. It is on point. Here would be my complaints. He's definitely shorter than I'd like, by, I don't know, 0.3 inches or so. He is bigger than SH Figure Arts and Patriot Studios, so I appreciate that. I feel like the way the hat looks doesn't quite match the jacket. He has a little bit of trouble holding some of his guns and radio type stuff, but you can make it work. His articulation is a little bit limited with the jacket on, but that's to be expected. Articulation is good, but limited with the cloth soft goods. Accessories are fantastic. Sculpt and paint job are amazing. The cloth soft goods is also pretty nice. I feel like the base body is not quite as good as a Mezco base body. If I had to rate this guy, if he was a little bit bigger, I'd probably give him a 9. But as is, probably going to give him like an 8.5. We can't really hold the size against him just because my personal preferences would be a 7-inch version of this. But I knew that wasn't going to be the thing going into this. But he looks great. And it's so cool to finally have, I want to say an official Nicholson Joker figure, but it's not an official Nicholson Joker figure, but that is definitely what it is. A Nicholson Joker figure. And the likeness here is probably better than anything McFarlane or Mattel or Mezco or NECA would ever give us. Great figure. 8.5. Very easily could have been a 9. A couple accessories I wish it came with would be the laughing bag from the end of the film, a hand buzzer, and he could have had a gun with sort of boxing glove coming out. I would love to get a Jack Napier gangster version of this guy, or a mime version. They could make so many different versions of this. I imagine this thing is sold out already, and it's really going to be hard to get in the long run. So the demand is there. We'll see if they make any more. So this is D Hunter. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.